Black History Month. Yeah, you know what? If the WWE wants to celebrate Black History Month, so can I. I love Black History Month. I think it's a great month, especially with how America used to treat the black people back in the day. It's great that they get their own month to pretty much celebrate, you know, their freedom and the rights that they have and they should have had when they first came to this country. Yeah, I ain't one of those racist people. I know a lot of people get that vibe with me, and I can understand why, that I look like just a prick, and I look like maybe I am a racist, but I'm not. I love black people. Black people are some of my favorite people to talk to, and I want to do a Black History Month video series because, hell, there's videos I want to talk about. Like, one of my videos that I can't wait to do is JTG conspiracy theories on why he's in the WWE. And I want you guys to help me out with that. So comment down below your conspiracy theories on why JTG is still in the WWE. And I'm going to break down these conspiracy theories along with you. But for now, I'm just going to give you my 5 favorite black wrestlers. Now, do note, I've been watching wrestling since 1998. Full-time since 2000. I've gone back and watched wrestling in the past. And the thing is, for me, yes, I watch wrestlers in the past and I hook onto them and I think they're awesome. But it's not the same as organically falling in love with a wrestler, watching it live. So I'm sorry if I don't have guys like Stevie Ray that a lot of people like. I'm sorry if I don't have guys like Ron Simmons. I know I watched Ron Simmons in the APA, but the APA kind of was not my thing. I'm sorry if I don't have those guys in there. I really do apologize, but just know there's some guys that are mostly current in this video, and if you want more of an old school type of deal, maybe Slug Daddy from the Off the Rope Show will be doing something like that, and he will give you some old school names. Just know this is like a current style of my favorite black wrestlers. And so let's just get started with this one as we go on to number 5 for me, which is Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin was an athletic freak. I didn't really like his stuff with Kurt Angle all too much. I mean, the world's greatest tag team angle was okay. But what really hooked me on to Shelton Benjamin was probably some of his stuff in 2004 with Triple H. I really thought this kid shined in 2004, and it's such a shame that Shelton Benjamin never really got his act together. That, you know, we would hear reports online, and whether they're true or not, that Shelton Benjamin did not give it 100%, and that he did not really have a working attitude. And it's such a shame because I felt Shelton Benjamin had such a bright spot in this company. I mean, the dude was pretty much just a spot monkey for Money in the Banks after the first Money in the Bank match. After they saw him in the first Money in the Bank match, it was just pretty much he was oh shit moments for Money in the Bank. That was it. That was all you were going to get from Shelton Benjamin. And it's such a shame that that's all he became, was just a spot monkey, because I felt he could have done really, really good things. Was he a guy that I could see carrying the company and being a multiple-time World Heavyweight Champion? No, not really. But was he a guy that I could see hold WWE and World Heavyweight Championship golds at one point and be a man that, you know, hold it for a couple months just to drop it down to a stronger heel? Yeah, I could probably see that. Totally, with Shelton Benjamin. But too bad that never came to case. I hope to see Shelton Benjamin one day back in the WWE. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. Please come back one day, Shelton Benjamin. Moving on to number 4, Mark Henry. Now, Mark Henry, Nation of Domination stuff, just know when I was a little kid, didn't really understand it all too much. Going back to it now, I totally understand it, but back then I didn't really understand it. Sexual Chocolate was always fucking hilarious to me as a little kid, so of course that holds a special place in my heart. But when he came back in 2006, I was like, why are they bringing back Sexual Chocolate? I didn't think he was threatening or big at all. WWE was going that route. They had a good angle with Mark Henry, and it's such a shame that earlier, it's such a shame that in 2011 he finally won a World Heavyweight Championship when they could have easily done that in 06 and 07, and especially the stuff he did with Undertaker and all that other crap. They could have given him a World Heavyweight Championship in that time frame, but no, instead he falls out of relevancy. I mean, they show some dominance in ECW, but that's when ECW steam was really down. Like when people gave up on ECW, when people were saying, this is not Extreme Championship Wrestling anymore. This is just WWE ECW. This is not the real shit. And so most people didn't even get to see most of Mark Henry's ECW Championship run. And it's ridiculous to me because I felt he did a good job as ECW champion, especially with Tony Atlas. Oh, those were the days. Those were fucking awesome promos that they did. But no one gave a shit because no one watched. And so we have Mark Henry turn face, and he's pretty much the Kool-Aid man. That was the fucking joke with Mark Henry. He would wear that big old red singlet. He looked like a freaking joke. They didn't treat him seriously. Hell, Mark Henry was no one that you would take seriously whatsoever. And when they traded Mark Henry to SmackDown, and they did the obvious heel turn that was super obvious that he was going to turn on Cena in that tag match on draft day, I said to myself, they're going to do the same shit with Mark Henry, try to make him dominant, try to make him a good heel, but they're going to fail. But WWE did not fail this time in 2011. WWE actually did the job right, and that's what made me love Mark Henry, was when they did the job right. I mean, when you had Big Show sell that leg injury, and then you have Mark Henry throw Sheamus through a barricade, and then you have Mark Henry walk out as the World Heavyweight Champion, that's when you know you did shit right with Mark Henry. And today, Mark Henry's still a guy that fans love to hear. When you hear that 3-6 Mafia, whoa, hey, fans fucking pop, because Mark Henry's a fucking beast. So I'm happy Mark Henry's getting the respect he deserves now, and I'm happy he's no longer just a joke to some of the internet fans, because he deserves better. So happy that Mark Henry's getting it. Fucking awesome. Moving on forward to my number 3 guy, and this guy is not really popular with the internet fans, but to me personally, he was one of my favorite black wrestlers, and that is Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley's not really that popular with a lot of internet fans. I don't know why. He was a great technical wrestler, maybe because he's big and bulky, but Bobby Lashley, to me, the moment I saw him, I just fell in love with him. Like that one SmackDown where he first came out, did this, I fell in love with him. I don't know how to explain it. I just loved the guy. He was a fucking beast. I didn't give a shit WWE was putting a rocket ship up his ass, because I felt he deserved it. Dude was freaking awesome to me. Yeah, he sounded like Mickey Mouse on the microphone. I didn't give a shit. I love Bobby Lashley. And to this day, I say it. I say it to this day. If Bobby Lashley did not get injured, he would have been WWE champion. He would have been the first full black WWE champion. Period. End of story. He would have beat Cena at SummerSlam 2007. Vince McMahon loved him. Hell, he worked a program with Vince McMahon at WrestleMania 23. That's how you know Vince McMahon loved Bobby Lashley. He was a stand-up guy, a former military dude. He had a great record. He was a guy that you could see become WWE champion. Sadly, he got injured. His wife got berated backstage. He had to leave the company, which sucks. But I love Bobby Lashley. I remember this. This is a true story. So I went to a wrestling camp, and not a pro wrestling camp, an amateur wrestling camp during the summer heading into my freshman year of high school, because I wanted to train to get better at amateur wrestling. It would have been my first year doing it. And so I wanted to learn some moves ahead of time before actually hitting it. Get a couple more mat time. It was J.R. Robinson. I think it was J.R. Robinson camp. I can't remember the name. If you're an amateur wrestler and you're watching this video for whatever reason, comment down below if I got the camp right. But J.R. Robinson Wrestling Camp, I was there for 4.5 days. Pretty much, my mom came to pick me up. We went to a mall because it was in Riverside, California, far away from where I lived in Thousand Oaks. We stopped at a mall for you know, like a break, kind of walked around, and one of the things that I liked to do back then was collect wrestling action figures. It was a hobby I had that I kind of faded away from near my sophomore year in high school, because money for action figures wasn't cool for me anymore, and I picked up a new hobby in the meantime. But yeah, I used to buy wrestling action figures as a hobby, and you know, I bought a Bobby Lashley figure, and I bought an MVP figure, and the guy who was at the check register, he knew wrestling, and he's like, "Oh, did you hear what happened to Bobby Lashley?" And I said, "No." And he told me, "Yeah, dude, he injured himself." And I was so upset hearing that. No, I could not. I was just like, "What? Bobby Lashley got injured?" And I literally was sitting in the car, just upset that Bobby Lashley was injured. First thing I did, go on WWE.com just to see if that was real. He did get injured. It hurt me. And that's how much I like Bobby Lashley. And I liked his short run in TNA. But yeah, it sucked. And I hope he comes back one day to WWE. He was one of my favorite wrestlers. I love this theme song. That's all I got to say. I love Bobby Lashley. I don't know how to explain it to you guys. All right, number 2. Can you dig it? Sucker! Booker T. I love Booker T so much. I mean, just when I first saw him in 2001. Now, keep in mind, like WCW, I watched it, but not as religiously as WWF. Of course, WWF was kicking WCW's ass in the Monday Night Wars. So guess what was going on in my household? WWF. I didn't have control of the remote as an 8-year-old boy. Oh no, my dad had control of that shit. What am I going to tell my dad? Give me the fucking remote? Oh hell no. My dad controls that shit. So we would watch mainly WWF. But when I saw him in when I saw him come in during the Alliance angle, it was just like, oh my god, this guy's a badass. I like him. He had the spin-a-rooney. I always liked Booker T. But when the Booker T gimmick kind of felt it was getting stale, and then he turned heel, I was just like not really into Booker T that much. Turned face again, I didn't really care. But then he came out with the King Booker gimmick. I loved that freaking gimmick so much. I loved that gimmick so much. I made a sign for No Way Out 2007. Was it 7 or... Yeah, it was 2007. Wilpo Skill went to that event as well. I remember. I did a review on that for my classic pay-per-view reviews, which I'm doing up again. Sorry, guys, for on pause with that series. But I went to No Way Out 2007, and I made list of rules of what happens when you disobey the King's order. I loved the King Booker gimmick. Sucks that he had to drop to the fucking boogeyman. Fuck that shit. But I loved the King Booker gimmick. I really did. And I felt it was a great freaking gimmick for TV. And it did its job. I loved it. And when he came back for the Royal Rumble 2011? Was it 11? I get mixed up with my Rumbles so many times. When he came back for Royal Rumble 2011, I fucking marked out. When he did the spin-a-rooney, I didn't care that he got eliminated right away. When I heard, "Can you dig it?" I was just fucking marking out. Hell, I love Booker T so much. When Percy Harvin was running back for a touchdown against Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos, I almost did a spin-a-rooney in the living room that I was in, full of Bronco fans. Yeah, that's how much I loved Booker T at the time. Booker T is fucking awesome. One of my favorites. But most people would say, Chase, is your number one The Rock? Because we know you're a Rock fan. See, the thing is, Dwayne The Rock Johnson considers himself Samoan most of the time. Yes, I know he's dark-skinned, and yes, I know he's black. But he's half. Can't really count him all that much. I was trying to find people who are full black mostly to some extent. So I took The Rock out of this list, and I said to myself, you know what? This guy is my number one. If you have been in Skype calls with me, you know I play his fucking theme song almost every once in a while. I do this every once in a while, and people say that WWE name of his, and I say no, no, no. Monty Brown, the fucking alpha male. I love him so much. Monty Brown is a fucking beast. I love Monty Brown, man. I just loved him. It is such a fucking damn shame TNA did not make him champion. Such a damn fucking He was, oh my god. You do not understand. When SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 came out, I was livid. That one, I couldn't play as Monty Brown in the story mode. Are you kidding me? Fuck off. The Pounce was a fucking awesome finisher. He was one of my fucking favorites. He was one of the main reasons why I watched TNA. Do you hear the sound of the Serengeti? I smell the fear on you. He just had a smooth way of talking into the microphone. I mean, go watch some of earlier TNA stuff. Monty Brown was a fucking beast. He was the man. He was getting pushed so damn hard, and fans loved him. He wasn't one of those forced push. And you could see that he loved the professional wrestling business. He was a killer. You knew WWE, once they moved him away from ECW, had big plans for him, that they were going to make him a United States champion, and hell, down the line, make him a big-time world heavyweight champion. You knew that. He had all the potential to become a big star. He was one of the main reasons, besides AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels and all those X Division guys, why I kept watching TNA when he was around. I hated that he had to job to Christian so many times. That was one of the few times that I actually hated Captain Charisma, when Monty Brown lost to him at Destination X 2005. Or was it another pay-per-view that yeah, it was Destination X 2005. I love Monty Brown. And it sucks that his career had to get shortened because of the tragic events in his family, and he did a noble cause for his family, sacrificing his own career to support the children of his sister. And I respect that out of Monty Brown, that he did that. I know I heard he did some independent stuff, and if you have footage of that, please show me it, because I would love to see the alpha male do his shit again, because he's one of my favorite. I still watch, like, to this day, I probably watch so many Monty Brown matches just because I miss the athlete and the performer that he was. I know it's weird that he's my number one out of all the names I listed above, and a lot of guys before him had more tenure, like especially in the case of Mark Henry and Booker T, and you thought I would organically fall in love with those guys the most. But like I said, there were some stints where I found them boring, and even as Marcus, I can't even say that name with a straight face, even as that gimmick he was in ECW, I still loved him. I remember when he pounced Bobby Lashley. Oh, God. I love Monty Brown, man. One of my favorite black wrestlers. If you guys have never seen the Alpha Male wrestle, it's a damn shame. Go watch some of his matches with Jeff Jarrett. He made Jeff Jarrett look like a fucking 5-star talent, man. He was fucking awesome. Sucks that he's no longer wrestling anymore. One of my favorite wrestlers in the business today. And, man, just sucks that his career had to get cut short because of a tragic event in his family. But something that I respect the most out of Monty Brown is how he was willing to sacrifice everything for his family. Maybe that's why he's number one a little bit, but more or less, I just miss of what he could do inside of that very ring. Comment down below your 5 favorite black wrestlers. You can add The Rock in there if you want. I personally did not add him in there because 1, it'd be too fucking obvious that he would be number 1 on most people's list. 2, I want to do something different. 3, I want to give respects to Monty Brown because he's fucking awesome. And 4, because this is my list and I can do whatever the fuck I want. Remember, comment down below your conspiracy, your theories on why JTG is still in the company. And I'm going to break down those theories in my next Black History Month video. And if I don't get enough theories, then I'm just going to make the other video I was going to do until I get enough theories to crack down why he's still in the WWE. I'm out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video of my 5 favorite black wrestlers. If you guys like me, comment down below. If you haven't checked it out already, watch my WWE Monday Night Raw review, where I review all of Monday Night Raw, and it's 3 hours of, yeah, I can't even say greatness. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Hope you guys enjoy your day. Peace!